We should be live. So here we go. This one, a lot of stuff happened. Let's see. The kids have powers. Vision is trying to escape, or at least trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Wanda's like freaking out. Her brother's like, "Yo, what's the real story?" So,
spoilers.
Like, I don't know. And then the town
it says spoilers, right?
I'm just saying.
All right. So, who would like to get us rolling?
I want to talk about the kids.
Go for it.
Jimmy and Big.
Kids. MGMT is great.
Yeah, where'd those kids come from?
So
yeah,
they're either, obviously real or not real, but if they are real, were they just in stasis somewhere on the edge of town like they saw on the computer, and she was just like, oh, he's suspecting that there aren't any kids, time to pull some kids in, or is this just pure, just pulled them out of the thin air?
Rather, she added them and took them from somewhere else in the world, just created a bunch of random kids who won't have parents after this, which I guess maybe that will be the students at, Charles's mansion, whatever. But yeah, it's weird.
Well, Pietro had that comment too about, were they just sleeping in their beds until the holiday episode? So it made me think, so it made me think they were just they were there, but she didn't want to animate children, and maybe now she's okay with doing that.
But,
yeah, so they're just... maybe they were literally sleeping in their beds. Is that
that's
what
that's yeah. I mean, that's what Pietro said too. Was you had them sleeping in their beds.
So they're just random people's kids then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were kids in the town before she took it over. So.
Right. And even talked about too, she can, she changed or altered people, but kept them similar to who they were, kept people that were together, gave them better jobs. She just took what was there and just kind of made it.
So kids would hopefully stay with their families.
With their families, yeah, you'd imagine.
Right.
That makes sense. They were just.
Because I don't think she has the power to just yoink people from across the planet. So I imagine if they were kids, they would have to be somewhere near there.
Yeah, I think she's.
That's how we get Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
It's just 47 squirrels all smashed together.
We needed her before Thanos, though. Come on. Where was she?
A lot of children to create, though.
Well, that also, if that's the case, is that how her children were made? Because
where'd they come from?
Yeah, I think.
Well, that was the question, wasn't it?
I thought so.
I thought so initially, and then he started talking about the children of the town, and then I realized it wasn't clear.
No, it isn't clear at all.
But no, it's
not good. But either way, it's clear that Wanda is at least the power source behind everything that's happening right now. And it's clear, she stopped everyone to, expand the bubble at the end, which I know is at the end of the episode, but she knows what she's doing, at least at this point.
I still don't think she started it, but I think she's definitely controlling it now.
No, I think chances are she's going to be manipulated into doing this for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because sorry, I jump around, but when Vision freed Agnes, she was freed, as in she's definitely someone outside of this who's also caught in it, but she was also completely bananas.
Yeah, I feel like she was faking that at especially because everyone else that was around the outer rim wasn't even moving, but she was at the outer rim and talking and doing things.
Oh,
and then
what's
the
her
second
name?
Agnes, yeah.
Agnes. I was messing with my headphone and I missed.
Well, the same way I think if you put any hero or villain in the hex, they would be changed too. If she is a villain, I think it also is messing with her. I don't think she's a villain, but it has some level of control more than others, but not 100%.
So it would make sense that she was able to still move to get out there more than the people on the fringes, because she's a main character in this show, but I mean that in the air quotes of the show,
right?
Yeah.
So she has some agency, but I don't know, anybody else who has been freed, I guess that only happened the one time with Norm, but Norm knew he was not Norm, but she still thought she was Agnes.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that she was part of the title screen this time.
Yeah.
she was a named character. Also, her, if you didn't catch it, it was real quick. Her jeans or her pants said naughty on the back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cute.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I was hoping that even if they were gonna do Agatha Harkness and have her be the villain, that it would have been interesting if, because Wanda's clearly giving people powers now, and we'll get to that in a second, that Wanda created this Agatha Harkness. They don't do the whole backstory that she normally has in the comics. It's just a new villain that Wanda's like, hey, you have powers and you're a villain. You're just inherently evil, so have fun. She's not really controlling it because what's her name went through the scanner, her DNA got changed. So,
Can we talk about how nonchalant she was about having her cells fundamentally changed? She's like, oh,
don't worry about it one bit.
Well, you hate to see it. Time to go back in.
Yeah, it was down for her to do it again.
Yeah.
Her logic also, no, what was it? About how Wanda's the problem, Wanda needs to be the solution. Thanos was the problem. Thanos needs to be the solution. Ask him nicely.
Technically, Thanos did destroy the stone, so he solved his own problem.
I mean, after that point, they served nothing but temptation. So,
but I feel like
no
that
one ever
logic...
really just sat down with Thanos and just asked him, "How you doing, bud? Doing okay?
Care about this? No,
he's not okay.
all of this could have been avoided if someone just talked to the man.
I mean, it's kind of that weird not really thought about logic of when she first stepped out and confronted the sword people, and they were like, "You have an entire town hostage," and she's like, "I'm not the one with the guns." It's like,
yeah, but you still have a town hostage.
We are aware of the situation, aren't we? Like,
that's some prime internet logic right there.
Well,
imagine if I had a bomb strapped to my chest. The police show up. I'm not the one with the guns.
Yeah.
She knows it's wrong. She asked Pietro, well, so, like, clearly she feels bad. Like, she's like, so you don't think it's bad? Or what did she say?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Something like, you don't think this is, I shouldn't be doing this?
And it's interesting because I feel like her character in that conversation alone, she got, like, more character than she's gotten in any of the movies. Because, what was it, Civil War, where they're like, oh my God, she's a weapon. She blew up this building or whatever. She needs to... And there was a little bit, but I feel like this is the first time that she's been like... Exactly. Like, she knows she's doing something wrong and she's looking for validation. Yeah. And her brother's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. This is weird. This is crazy. Why do I look like this?
Told her it's fine. It's not bad. I don't know why he said that. But he did.
Because it's not really her brother.
Right.
So yeah, he's definitely not the X-Men version, right? Because he just said, like, I got shot like a chump in the street, which did not happen.
Yeah.
He enjoy that line.
Yeah, because he knows everything that, like, this Pietro would have known. Or at least, what did he say? He knows everything up until, last thing he knows was he was getting shot and then he was here. But then also, he made that comment, which I loved, when he said, what, your dead husband's not going to die twice? And she just blasted him. How do you know that? Because that happened way after you were dead, sir.
Well, I think he can just tell that Vision's dead by looking at him. And that was the comment of the whole popsicle thing. I think he is more aware of what's going on, as in, like, with the kids and everything Wanda's doing, he's aware of what's happening.
So he can see himself with the bullet holes too?
Well,
it's all still her, right?
Well, him being aware, I don't think has to do with her. I do think he is separate. If we want to get to this part, I think he is Nightmare. I am starting to settle on that. If I think I think there's Nightmare, who is going to be who is the villain in Doctor Strange 2, and everything going on. The Sleepy Dreamer song at the end is starting to get me thinking every time. And
he said like this Nightmare. He said that too.
Yeah, no, this and I just pulled his powers and abilities just to be able to discuss. But so near omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, and ability to draw from the psychic energies of the subconscious minds of dreaming beings. So I think this is just a juicy snack for that character, and that would be a good way to put him there.
Yes, he's Gengar.
He's Gengar, and
he's got the spiky hair and everything.
And so I think that guy's just taking that form. Now, how does that link with the bullet holes and then you also seeing dead vision and all that going on? Don't have an answer for that.
Well, that could be him like feeding on her nightmares. I mean, because her nightmare would be when her brother was shot and when Vision like had the stone crushed. So that would be why. And maybe that's also I didn't think about it too. She like he kept scaring her. Like he scared her.
Yeah, he kept being like boom.
Yeah. So that could also be it as well.
And eventually she got to expand the barrier, which we'll jump back to, which just means more juicy snacks for the guy. And so my theory here, because when they talked in Endgame about how you pull one Infinity Stone out, you open yourself up to vulnerabilities, and we saw Dormammu was kind of held back by Time Stone. Maybe Nightmare was a character who was held back by the existence of the Mind Stone. Don't know how or why, but and the Mind Stone being back and potentially being back and could draw his attention. I think there might be some connections there, but obviously the show purposely doesn't give us enough info. So that's my theory on him.
So what is that character Nightmare like? What is that character's goal? What's that character trying to do?
I imagine get stronger from all these people in there, just because he feeds off the psychic energy of. Sorry, I just looked over and I saw my muted YouTube video of Josh's mouth moving, and it freaked me out. Just drawing the energies of what she's doing and all those people in that current state.
So it's just a convenient way to gain more power.
Yes.
Like Voldemort doing whatever.
Yeah, like Voldemort doing
Voldemort doing whatever.
Yes, I remember that book.
Also,
just do anything.
Speaking of nightmares, does Wanda sleep? And when she sleeps, does everyone else have to sleep too?
Well, it's also weird if like the time
just staying awake for like 4 weeks.
The time in the hex is definitely different than the time outside, because like every time we go into the hex, it's like daytime. When we come out, it's nighttime. Like
also
in the real world,
the people on the edge, are they just pooping their pants?
I think so.
They're just pooping because.
Well, they probably haven't eaten since they started.
Because they just do this.
They're
so they don't poop.
She does every once in a while, just like dematerializes that out of everyone.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Like in Harry Potter.
Like it.
Yeah. Before what was the spell called?
Well, no, before they had indoor plumbing.
We don't need to do this.
The whole can of worms.
Yeah, we don't need to open up that.
We already got the Sonic Jam.
No. Let's reroute. So if they end up with like you were hoping, if they end up with Wanda coming out of this as a villain figure, do you think they can make Agatha Harkness into not a villain?
Oh, sure. I mean, they can figure out something. I mean, look at like the scrolls and the.
I don't like to look at the scrolls.
I'm just saying, like how they played on like you thinking like, oh, they're going to be bad because they're bad in the comics, and then they flip the two of those. They could very easily.
And that's the thing. I don't know what any of these people's goals are. I just point to the Infinity Stone because now that's back. It seems. Even when he started falling apart, like that seemed to. I figured that'd be the first thing to go, honestly. But I guess he would just shut off. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, because the whole Agatha Harkness thing. I mean, it's probably going to be like, oh, Wanda was real sad, and she got her to do this thing. Like, you have the power to bring him back. You can do this. Probably nudged her into making the bubble, and then that's fueling this secondary villain. I don't know. You know how Marvel do.
Yeah.
Can we get a training montage of Wanda making the hex set to "You're the Best Around"? Because I would love that so much.
I'd like to see like the beta versions,
How big can she make that thing? Was she just limiting it to that size and then was like, oh, Vision's in trouble, I need to expand it? Or was this like I'm pushing it to the limit and I need to expand it to get rid of all these sword people?
I have a theory, but I'll let someone else talk.
I was going to say, I think she just made it enough to get Vision at that moment, but I think she could probably do it as much as she wants. And I think that might be how we get X-Men, is I think she's going to do it at one point. It's going to hit everyone, and that everyone that has the gene in them is going to become like unlock their powers.
I don't think she can go that far. I think she's limited because of the glitches on the outside. I think this is going to start putting a strain on her, and she's going to start to break mentally.
She was already like glitching. If she has issues, or like when Vision walked back into the house and she saw he was like his dead form. And
Yeah. And
losing control of
no.
Vision, and like she's already like losing control, isn't she?
Yeah, it feels like all of those little things are like her not being capable of containing kind of all of this happening at once. It's like trying to do
Too much.
trying to do too much at once, and you're overloading. And expanding it seemed like, okay, I got to get Vision, so
Well,
I have to do
I
this.
thought it was going to be just Vision, but then it was like he said, it like all the sword, everything. Just
It felt like doing a Super Saiyan thing, though. Like if Vision, if I'm at risk of losing Vision, okay, I can like do a quick burst.
right.
But can she maintain that?
Yeah,
It
now
feels like
what?
the answer is no.
No,
Yeah,
no, I don't think
and-
she can maintain it. Like I was just more saying, I think eventually it's gonna go and do a whole
pop.
thing. It's gonna pop. Yes, that's what I meant. I didn't mean that she can control the whole world, because clearly she can't. She can barely control 4 city blocks. She can only control like what's around her.
And if
It'll
she
be really
does spread that
interesting.
thin, like how messy would it get?
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't lead to X-Men, because that would mean all the X-Men come from Jersey, and that sounds like a nightmare.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Nobody
It would go all around the world. It would just hit everything. So everyone over the world would have.
Please, because it can't just be Jersey Shore.
No, it's just gonna be Jersey. Imagine
No.
Jersey Shore Wolverine.
Hey, that's the next episode, Dory.
He's got
Jersey
like
Shore.
beer on his claws, and he's just shotgunning them with the
If that's the case, I'm in. I'm in 100%.
Speaking of when it expanded, I like that all the sword agents became clowns.
Mhm.
I thought that was cute. But also I wonder
How did the leader, who sucks, by the way,
of course he made it out. Yeah.
who was right in front of the Hex, how did he escape? He should have been the first one caught.
He was smart and he ran.
He's got the
Just went
fastest
armor.
car.
He had to.
That's what.
Who was driving? There was somebody like you
one
wanted
of
to
his-
escape.
Sword agent
Just
number
as- yeah.
59.
Yeah.
Bear was driving.
How can this be?
I thought it was interesting that we didn't see what happened to Darcy. We saw like everything else, like as it went into the bubble, like what it became, but they
Oh,
didn't.
she's the clown now.
But they didn't
Well,
show
we
it.
saw her transform, right?
No, we didn't. No, that's what I'm
No.
saying. We did not see her transform. We saw her go
Sure.
fudge. I'm
Yeah,
100% sure. I just
believe
watched it
that's
again.
all we saw.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
Man
she
now,
turned into.
dog.
so Vision's dead, right?
I
Yeah.
don't know what you mean.
He seemed to have a little bit of issues.
Yeah, I think he can't exist outside of that
Oh,
bubble.
yeah.
currently.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
He's-
asked
he's
immediately:
just a
Is he
pile
gonna
of
die
garbage.
now? Is he gonna fall apart? Like,
Yeah.
The only other thing I could think is like whatever extra hex did she put on? Is that like something else keeping him in? But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he can't exist outside of that hex.
In Agatha's
seem like
words, he's dead. Dead.
Dead.
I was like, okay, calm
Was
down.
it 3 or 4?
it was
like 3 or
might have
4.
been
She-
more than 4.
It was one
was
more
too many.
than right. It was one more
Yeah.
than was acceptable.
More than and I was just like, normal people don't just scream you're
Mhm.
dead at somebody like that. I was like, that weirded me
yeah,
out.
right.
I mean, to
Normal
be fair, if
people
I
aren't
came across
dead.
someone who was dead, I might.
Yeah, I haven't met a dead person.
Yeah,
I might just
so-
go Luffy on them and just they're there and just try to push them back under.
Go back under.
Yeah.
But she also didn't remember he was dead until like halfway through that conversation. She was like, "Oh, perfect, Vision's here. You're an Avenger." And then he was like, "What's an Avenger?" And then she was like, "Oh yeah, you're dead."
Yeah.
Well,
that
she was
weird.
like, "Am I dead?"
Yes.
And he's like, "Why
Yeah,
would you
that's
say
why
you
I
were dead?" And
think
she's
it's
like,
like-
"Because you are, bro."
Coming out of a dream, she had to sort things
That's
out.
why I think she is under the influence of whatever this is, somewhat. Maybe not as much, but to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I really enjoyed the Kick-Ass reference. I thought that was really great.
Did she
Yes.
just say "kick-ass"? Is that what happened?
So,
Yes.
no. So what happened was when Pietro was about to take them around to get candy, Billy, which one's the speed boy? Billy or
Bimmy.
he said, like, he's like, "Oh, kick ass," and then she repeated it after after he said it.
Like
Which is-
looked into the camera, basically.
Yeah, which is cute because if people don't know, both Quicksilvers were in Kick Ass, if you don't recall.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
don't-
the
I
X-Men
don't know
one
anything
was.
about
Yeah, that's right. He played
Both of
his
them.
buddy or something.
Yep, he was
right?
yeah. So Aaron Tyler Johnson was Kick Ass, and then his
I have a hard time remembering anybody in that movie except for Nick Cage.
That's a common symptom of Nick Cage being in
Yeah.
a movie.
Name one other person in Vampire's Kiss.
But I thought that was a really cute. Also, I really love the whole Halloween theme is a perfect way to get everyone their comic costumes, because otherwise those costumes don't really work. But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful way of like doing all of their costumes.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was cute.
So
no, go ahead.
No, so who's Rambo going to meet?
Reed Richards.
It is Reed Richards, right?
So only
There's
because
no way that it's not.
Also, as I paused the screen at one point, just because I was like doing something else, like the file that Darcy is looking at is file number 4. Oh,
I know that number.
Yeah. No, but I think it's Reed Richards. I'm wondering if we're going to see him though. I wonder if they'll just like, she'll say thanks Reed, and like we won't even see him, but
just a gloved hand from off screen hands her like a dick.
It'll stretch from out of wide frame and give her the file and stretch back.
Nice.
I mean, because it would make sense that that could be how you do Fantastic Four, is they were working with S.H.I.E.L.D. and on some mission, or they're going to go on some mission in the future, and that's how they
just fixing all the Fox problems.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I mean, if you're going to bring them in somehow, I guess this is the way you can do it.
Well, I mean, isn't SWORD also kind of like the outer world?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
system. So like it would make sense that they would be part of that, and that's how they get blasted by that
exactly
radiation.
I still want them to retroactively say it was the Fantastic Four that bought the Avengers Tower in Homecoming.
You can still do it. That could be the new Baxter building.
That's the Baxter building, and that's that. And they use that energy source to do the teleportation to the other dimension, and that's how they got all Rocky.
I still also really want that project was funded by the Friday Foundation.
Yeah. Well, they were at MIT when September Foundation.
September Foundation. Yeah, I really want that as well from Civil War.
How about that Gushers commercial?
Yeah. So
that was the best part of the show.
Was that?
It's awesome.
That was also interesting. That was the first one that didn't have those same 2 actors in it. All the other ones have had the same 2 people. That was the first one that didn't have.
To be observant.
This high C Gushers.
Did one of them voice the shark? Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yo Magic was the yogurt, and he couldn't open it, so he starved to death. So without magic, you die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's in very, very like
that's marketing.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a Capri Sun commercial.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I was expecting that kid to slurp up a Capri Sun and turn into the T1000 metallic liquid.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Mack style.
I'm pretty sure Capri Sun's how we get Silver Surfer.
Yes. Yeah.
That's probably how we get them.
That's probably it.
Which, I mean, this episode more so than any others, because, the past couple of intros, that really wasn't kind of like my era growing up. But this one, hit me right in this weird nostalgia bone that when I watched the intro, I was like, oh yeah, I know this show. I know
the Malcolm in the Middle intro.
Yeah, I watched this growing up, and then I saw that claymation commercial, and I was like, this is how accurate this was to me when I watched when I grew up. Which, I mean, I guess probably the older generations watching the older shows is probably the same thing. But now I'm feeling it, so now I care about it. That's
right.
That's funny because I'm super familiar with the 50s shows and 60s and 70s, so I knew what the first 3 episodes were, and I knew how specific they were being, with the Brady Bunch and Bewitched. I didn't ever watch the Dick Van Dyke Show, but I Love Lucy is the same idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then when we got to Malcolm in the Middle, it's clearly the age I grew up in, but I could never watch that show. Just never got into it. But Josh knew what it was, so now he understood exactly how specific they're being with the sitcoms.
So accurate with to me, what got me was the music. Vision's walking down the street, and there's people frozen, and it's playing this dopey, just pitch perfect Malcolm in the Middle music in the background.
Even just the editing and the way it was shot and everything, it just screamed Malcolm in the Middle to me, and it was incredible, just how even just the way it was shot, just the video.
It's very specific.
The team working on this is the bomb to be able to capture each and every one, and
Also, oh no, sorry, I was just gonna say that I know we were ragging on production values and not being able to do flight right, and it seems like that was a stylistic choice for doing the 70s and 80s era, because Vision flying looked totally fine.
Yeah. That's what Drake said last time, is like the way they tilted and stuff, like, or was it Steven? Someone was like, no, it's because like Drake, that's how they did flying back in the day.
That makes sense.
No, it made sense for the era. I think it was Drake that said it, but no, 100% makes sense for like the 80s sitcom that they were doing. That was how they would have done it. Just to like, clearly you're on a string because I can see you get tilted forward. Right. So it made sense for that.
But yeah, for sure, Vision's flying was much improved, and
it looked fine. Yeah, when he flew, when he phased into like from the one costume to the other, looked perfectly fine. Because the problem's not money. Marvel has put money into these shows. They're not just being like, oh, we'll try. Like they're going full.
Then why did that stork look like that?
Well, because that was the 70s.
I was going to say, I mean,
Brady
70s that was the computer animation they used in the Brady Bunch.
No, they wouldn't have used computer animation. They would have used some other weird thing.
That was a lot. It wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Fine.
Also, money doesn't solve everything. I watched Wonder Woman 1984.
Well, that's a whole different discussion.
We're talking about. I still have to do that, and I've been told not to, but I'm going to.
That was a really good phrase there. You still have to do that.
You're gonna have to spend money for it at this point. Also,
no, we're not doing that.
Well, it's
You'll never do it.
It's off HBO Max. So you're gonna have to spend money if you want to watch it.
Life finds a way, and it's
called
Vimeo.
When Darcy wanted to help Vision, what did they want him to do? Just push him back in?
Yeah, kick him in.
Yeah,
literally, they're there, and just push them back in.
Take him by the face.
No, you stay in there.
Just slide him back.
Take that car and just push him in real slow.
Or just like catch the bits of him that are flying back and like
just
smush them back on him like Play-Doh. Like,
just put them in his pockets.
Like JFK.
Sword boy name?
What's what?
Sword boy name?
Hayward.
Like Todd or something? Okay.
Hayward.
Todd.
Todd Hayward.
You know, the guy who made Skyrim.
Oh my gosh, I hope his name is Todd Hayward. That'd be amazing.
So yeah, when that guy is clearly he's got his own thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just the whole asset thing. It was very confirmed this time. And that's what you get, jerk, buddy.
He got big mad too. They also like did not hold back from like reaming him out. Like Darcy, what she said, like, oh look, it's the guy that almost got shot by his own people. Like they did not like. They do not care about levels of command.
How much do the sword people hate Darcy that not only did they handcuff her to a truck, but then they left that truck there and took every other vehicle available.
It's because they watched Thor 2.
They would have taken that one. I just left her attached.
I'm surprised they didn't like, all right, just hold on to the front because we're going.
Yeah.
That whole scene where they were like, yeah, just get these people out, and then they just casually beat everybody up, and
there's sword agents like literally walking around in the background as these guys are fighting.
What was that?
It was them getting away.
That's weird, and we don't have any sort of radio communication to confirm that they've been escorted off the site or anything like that.
Nobody insured anything.
The other thing, just side note, if anyone helps Wanda, like if any other like hero comes to the rescue, I decided I hope it's Hawkeye and not Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that'd be cool because they had that relationship already.
Hawkeye's been there for her since the beginning, essentially.
Yeah, Hawkeye. That's who they sent in Civil War to go get her.
And Hawkeye gets it. I mean, he bent time and reality to save his family, so.
And he'd also be the right person to throw in, because if you throw in someone else, like, what's Hawkeye going to do to Wanda? Like, clearly I'm not here to beat you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, he'd definitely be the right person to get to do it.
No, that'd be great.
And his son's middle name is her brother's name.
That's true.
Yeah.
What?
Or so.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Hawkeye's son's middle name.
It took a second. Yeah.
No, that would be nice. I'm not convinced those kids are here to stay.
Which kids?
The ones you made.
Her kids.
Her kids, Billy, Tommy.
Her twins.
Yeah.
So like the bubble
where did they come from? Like, can we talk?
They came out of her, apparently, according to Rambo. But
maybe half her. Like, they're probably hers. But how?
It's just a matter of
are they half visions?
I don't think so of that. But I just think she manifested them into that reality, and I don't know if once that reality pops, if they can exist, and what's that going to do to her, if it's going to hurt her more.
I think
crazy route.
I think
that could be a little more like. I want to take that a little further because it's the one thing that's really scaring me about this show is it does seem like everything's boiling down to, man, women do be crazy sometimes.
Yeah,
that
she's yeah.
I think it's more it's because they keep bringing up grief, because I thought it was funny too that in this one they used grief as like the 90s term of like I'm giving you grief, when in the other term in the other episode it was grief of that they were feeling, because I think that is what it boils down to, because you also remember for most people it's been 5 years, but for her, Vision died last week. Like it's not like it hasn't been five years for her. She just came back and like Vision is still dead, and
we also her powers are really unstable, and we have seen that they are much more powerful when she is sad or has a negative emotion. When she went against Thanos / also when Ultron killed Pietro, she just disintegrated them. They just went away. So
I know. I just also they lean into that kind of thing, and it makes me sad a little bit because it's only ever female characters like that. You get like, oh, Bucky spent like 100 years as a war criminal or whatever, and then like, oh, I did all that? I'm gonna go work on a farm, I guess. Oh, they gave me an arm and a gun, and I guess I get to go fight more war. That's fine. Like, he didn't seem to have some crazy reckoning, and we get an entire series about, wow, Wanda's real sad and things are going crazy.
So then would you prefer an Agatha to have manipulated her to cause this? Like spell?
Because I don't know. I think there's a difference there too. Also, you got to remember, I mean, she was orphaned as a child, so she has no parents. She lost her brother, she's lost her husband, and if she loses her kids, I mean, she's lost everything. So I think it's not just playing into the trope. I think it is. I mean, they've set it up well. It's not just going, she's woman crazy like that, And
also, we all hate Iron Man 3, but like, what about Iron Man 3?
That's true. Also, Hawkeye.
I still never watched it, but I assume that was what he was trying to do.
The entire movie was Iron Man dealing with his internal emotions and basically freaking out after Avengers.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, he was having panic attacks.
Somehow, he ended up, I don't know. I think not getting to see that movie and then seeing where it led to after that, it always seemed like they were trying to give Tony he's going to be like smart enough to get around, like he's going to brain his way through a solution somehow. And it wasn't logical, and it usually ended up real bad.
I mean, I would say Hawkeye went pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he just went on a murder spree and like massacred people.
But now he's fine.
But Wanda will be fine too. Unless they like kill her or something.
I mean, honestly, that's a possibility. That seems like harsh, but I mean, we don't know where this is going yet.
I think it might be going there too. We'll see. Like ultimately, and like,
I think there's a possibility also, like at the end of this, she goes into like a different like multiverse or something too, like that. Everything.
Literally anything is possible at the end of the show.
Well, yeah, just because she's in Multiverse of Madness, and like that could be what sets up like that whole thing.
See, what happened was she actually is really super healthy and was going to therapy, but she got a really bad therapist, and she just did not get the bang for her buck. And
her therapist was Banner, who was sleeping again when he was supposed to be doing therapy.
No, it's Zemo. Zemo sits down and starts saying those Russian words and starts talking about freight cars, and Wanda loses it.
But I enjoy getting, like I said, when her brother's talking to her and stuff, I feel like, and she's trying to figure stuff out, it's more character, like like Thor, right? Thor had a freak out, and then
that's true too.
But they but yeah, as Justin's saying, it was kind of self-contained, and by the end of the movie, he had decided he was Thor again. Although I guess technically it was kind of 2 movies because he had been that way since Infinity War, supposedly.
He wasn't that way in Infinity War.
At the beginning of the next movie,
well, I'm saying if you're looking at time scales, though, it's not like it was just a small amount of time. It was a small amount of time in a movie, but clearly he had been, garbage for a while if he was that out of shape.
No, I mean he was definitely handling one of the ways you handle depression.
Mm-hmm.
So,
video games and food. Oh, I think that's me. Actually.
And beer.
Yeah,
there was lots of beer.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I Marvel does a good job, I think, of making people humans, and hopefully they'll bring this back and ground it. We're gonna get more and more pieces. And Steven, did you say you did see that the next 3 were an hour?
Yeah, I haven't found it's mostly sites I've really seen before.
I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple places, but I can't find where Kevin Feige said it. But everyone is
I don't know if where linking I saw it was credible. But
everywhere's linking that Kevin Feige said it, but I just can't find anywhere else where he said it other than those couple websites.
I mean, obviously they can't have all the Avengers just show up because this is clearly a threat, but money and people availability. But where's Old Man Cap? They were buds. They worked together for a while.
He didn't die.
Did he die? He's just old.
Yeah, I think he should. They
just left him on the bench.
He's on a really nice leather sofa somewhere, leather chair, just watching the news.
Italian leather.
He's hanging out in Florida.
I mean, he's probably
I was left with the impression that he
nearby.
died. I don't know why.
He's probably actually just running around Washington still at that age. Just trucking it.
On your left.
Yeah. But I'm playing the episode in my head. So yeah, no, Malcolm in the Middle, kids have powers.
For anybody who saw Days of Future Past, is this at all like the Pietro character in that? Okay.
Oh no, it's completely different.
It's very clearly
he's doing
MCU guy in a different form. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And MCU guy with a different personality too, which is again influence of Hex. You just become a cartoon while you're in there.
Even down to the way his power, because his speed is different in the X-Men movies. In this he has this kind of how the speed worked for.
He has the silver streak. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the X-Men movies he has more of he's running so fast things are slow for him. He's just picking.
This one's not running out of breath though. I like when speedsters are tired.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about
Flash has
Wanda
that treadmill to train on.
About what now?
Wanda time. I think Colton said, for us, it's been a long time since Vision died, but for Wanda, it's been a week. Is that just the movie timeline? I can't remember.
Yeah, because she got when Thanos pulled out the stone, he killed Vision and then snapped, and she got snapped away. So she didn't come back until Endgame at the end when they re-snapped and brought everyone back.
She came back when Rambo
Which is when Rambo just came back. So she
Correct.
just okay.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's been
she's been busy.
Yeah. She literally came back, fought a war, and then now went to go find her.
And you got to think she died with her husband's in her arms and came back and was where is he now?
Right.
Yeah, he's in some base being experimented on.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, Wong's just 5 years. Thanos is just kind of down the street. We got to go, and get to it.
Some wizard that you don't know of is opening a portal to where Thanos is. Let's hop in.
Also, I'm not going to open it immediately. I'm going to strategically wait for the best time to open up all of them at the same time, so you can all come out and we can.
No, wait. Well, we got to wait for Falcon to say something.
Yeah. Are you saying Doctor Strange is the worst stage manager of all time?
No, I'm saying he's the best stage manager. Look at what he did.
Busy with that water tornado.
Guys, even 200 people would have helped, and then you just get them in as you can. You don't have to wait.
Right. You could have immediately brought some people for that first fight instead of waiting until the end.
Where's the drama in that?
Yeah. It's not flashy enough.
No. Because also, I just thought about it. He had to go and have a conversation with Wong, so he had to leave that other planet, go there. How did he? And then go back to that planet and let him out.
$10. Falcon was like, "Yo, here's 10.
Did Wong
What I need you to do."
ever get that sandwich he wanted in Infinity War?
I don't know.
Tuna melt? No, he didn't.
He never got
Yeah, I don't think he got the tuna melt.
No, because they immediately got attacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Doctor Strange left with all the money.
He had like 2 rubies, which is like, not enough to buy anything. Because they're not attached to the material world. Also, why? If we're doing multiverse stuff, it's interesting. Strange hasn't showed up yet. Like, you would think this would be on his radar of like things he would show up for.
But as we just discussed, Strange is all about the drama.
It's true.
It shows up at the last.
He's a messy bench who lives for drama.
Yeah,
I like the idea of him being the stage manager, and the show has to be. You know what I mean? It's all about the show.
Like Wong is like the stage manager. He would literally never show up.
We're actually going to find out that this is 2 levels in, and we're going to come out 1 more level, and what we're seeing is all on someone else's TV.
Oh,
and then we get to our TV.
Hmm.
We're gonna go another. It's
a couple more layers. All right.
Yeah,
we think we're at the outer layer, but really we're inside on the 3rd layer.
It's like an onion.
I definitely don't trust anything the show tells me so far.
Oh yeah, no.
Turns out the entire time the viewer has just been Gambit. Like it's real meta, and you turn out to have been Gambit.
Oh, Shadi. And then he turns it off.
Yeah, the last shot is him just turning toward the camera and going, "Mon ami," and then just
and then it says MCU. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Hope you liked it.
And then the very end, it's like the black screen is Gambit will return.
Yeah,
I think the bad guy in this show is Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Thanos.
I'm sorry. What did we say? He eats them?
Yeah, he gets eaten.
You know who Gambit is?
I don't. I mean, I probably do. Somewhere
You
in the back
will
of my
when
head.
Gambit returns.
Because
he's that guy right there.
Also, is Gambit a word? Is there a definition of that word?
Yes.
A Gambit is like a trick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you run a Gambit. Like it's a yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the episode seems short and sweet and to the point. Yeah. Wait,
did we get a confirmation on how Todd Howard was seeing into the hex?
He was looking.
It just works.
Well, because it wasn't just
no,
vision.
I don't think they did, because he said there's a way. He found a way in, but they didn't address it. They immediately got eaten up.
The way he's looking at his vision is by the vibranium, but I don't understand how he's looking at everyone else. Because like when you look at that satellite, it shows all the dots of all the people.
Yeah,
but didn't they say he found a way in?
Well, it says he found a way to see in, which doesn't necessarily mean go in. So maybe it's an open hex, and you just have to get high enough.
The only thing I think is like, or it's like heat signatures and like but
maybe it's
not a full dome. It's a convertible dome.
I thought they said that.
Like infrared.
I thought they said something like Vision was pinging off of people close to Vision or something.
So they're tracking Vision by the vibranium, is what they say.
The whatever it was like deteriorating or
decaying vibranium.
Yeah.
Like.
But I didn't know if that was like, oh, that's the whole of the everything, or is that
I don't understand
also a layer of whatever that they were doing.
That makes sense. That makes sense as to how you track Vision, but doesn't make sense as to how you're tracking everyone else. Like unless somehow he's pinging off of other people, but like
radar.
Yeah,
I thought that's what they said. Did they not say that?
I don't know.
They said that they are tracking Vision via decaying vibranium, but doesn't say how they're tracking everyone else.
Okay, I thought somehow there was something. Mm-hmm.
Because remember, Vision is just a gigantic open wound walking around this weird hex thing.
Yeah. And so we never saw the file that
no.
Kat Dennings looked
at. She sent it to Wu really quick before she went out there, but she
via email,
which I love that his email was just woo@fbi.gov.
That was like clearly the most secure way you can get that to him via his email.
Because clearly that computer that you're using is not monitored by Sword at all, and you can just send some email to some guy.
Just use plain old Outlook.
Yeah.
Just all he's got.
Actually, just print screen it, put it in paint, and send it to his phone.
There you go.
I didn't know how I felt about an FBI agent taking out a bunch of sword soldiers, but
I'm just glad Wu threw a punch.
Yeah. I mean,
he wasn't messing around.
He seems much more competent than he did in Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah.
Hard not to.
He's been training with Ant-Man since then. That's what it is.
If Hawkeye does show up, Wu will know him, so that'll be funny.
I have a question about
because Hawkeye was on house arrest
Marvel.
too, and I think Wu was in charge of both of them.
Oh,
They've
okay.
been under the same program.
Interesting. Yeah.
So if you're a character in Marvel and you're smart at everything.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because Kat Dennings is a
There's a hacker.
Yeah, she's a what do you call it?
Astrophysicist.
Astrophysicist, but also she can hack.
But also a master hacker.
Yeah.
But the more important question is, if everyone in Marvel is unbelievably smart, who's the dumbest person in Marvel, and why is it Drax? And I love him.
Oh yeah,
It's definitely
Drax
Drax.
and Mantis are pretty daft. They're both they're just
I don't know. Like, I don't think Star-Lord could figure out any sort of like
No.
hacking anything like that.
Well,
No.
let's be honest.
But he has
Guardians
he
are a
had
different
tools, and he knew how to get the
Marvel.
power stone.
Yeah, but he had to be told where the power stone was. Like, he's not the guy that's like, I'm gonna figure this out. He's the guy you tell to go somewhere and he can do a thing.
I don't know. He seemed good with gadgets and like kind of Batman way, and he's a good pilot.
I will definitely say Drax is the dumbest because he was trying to let other people believe that he could be people could not see him if he just stood still. Like,
and wouldn't sit still.
or when he jumped at the beginning of Guardians 2, when he jumped into the middle, thinking that the inside would be more cuttable than the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I want to elaborate. I know we're getting a little off topic. I want to elaborate on a comment I made, and I think it made it in the last video about me not wanting Shuri as Black Panther. I meditated on it. I figured out why. It's because she's quippy and sarcastic, and I really like that Black Panther, as just a hero, was always serious. Like he was serious one, and she complimented him. I don't know. I want to reverse the roles and have Shuri be another quirky hero along with the rest of them, and then whoever, if someone goes along with them, be serious, which I guess could still be Okoye. But I really liked the serious nature of Chitala, and that's probably what I'm going to miss.
T'Challa.
I think it's a bigger issue with Marvel because so many Marvel movies are action comedies. Like every single one is an action comedy now. So like,
I mean, it's what
so. Like if you watch Captain Marvel first, you'd be like, "Wow, this is pretty good." But if you watch Captain Marvel after it being the 12th action comedy in a row, you're just like, "Guys, I get it."
Right,
action comedies are great, but they all can't be the same thing.
That's why Chitala was refreshing to me because they start his movie and they're joking with him and he's just very serious, like, all right guys, I get it, like this is a funny joke, but let's go try on my new suit. All right, yep, I'm king now. Like he was very calm, and I'm gonna really miss his character.
Now, what if the loss of her brother turns her more straight? Would you be okay with that?
Could be.
Yeah, potentially.
Also, people have different modes.
Yeah, and if she became
No, I'd be a little
teacher
bit more
mode
okay
versus human mode is a hugely different thing. And I don't know that she would be able to draw the line and be like T'Challa and then be herself. I don't know, but different modes are a thing.
Was she necessarily like quippy?
Yeah, she was quippy the whole time.
She was quippy? That's the word for her?
She
was flicking them off. She was making the jokes. She was the light character. I love her in that movie. I like her in that role in that movie, just based on his character. No, roles reversed. I would like it, but it would be weird to change her drastically. And again, death. But how are they going to do his death? I feel like a multiverse thing is going to be how they're going to have to explain that away, and that's why I thought about the Michael B. Jordan thing. But it also could be a Batman thing where we see like 6 Black Panthers, which might be cool. Like people pass down the powers or whatever.
Because Feige said they're not going to recast. Like there will be more Black Panther, but they're not going to recast T'Challa.
Right. They're not going to make another T'Challa, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I guess I just want to know how you recreate that because like there's a very specific. There's a fruit, I believe, or a fruit that you had to partake of, or like the plant,
flower,
the flower that they grew. And in the first Black Panther, he burned all of it, and they managed to save one, and they gave it to T'Challa at the end of the film. So, like, how do you get more of that?
You can figure out a way to be like something they figured out. There was one somewhere else in the woods or something they found, and yeah, you can.
They grove maybe, which I mean would be fine. It's just I would just like to know how they do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Kind of like don't want a new Black Panther to show up in Black Panther 2. So like if you have T'Challa die,
maybe there will just be a leader.
Someone sees it as a weakness in the nation. Yeah. Well, maybe like I don't know, Namor or Kraven or some evil guy kills T'Challa somehow, and then they're in disarray and they have to deal with it without having this superhero Black Panther ready to fight. So then you have to have Okoye and Shuri and everyone else like figure out how to deal with that without having just the hero guy to solve all your problems.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
Yeah, that would actually be awesome.
Because it's pretty heavily rumored like Namor is going to be the villain of that movie too, so that could work.
Did you say Neymar, like the soccer player?
No,
yeah, he was in Triple X, so he's ready to go.
Basically, Marvel's Aquaman is basically what he is.
Marvel. Okay.
Yeah.
I have everything.
If you could believe Aquaman was more of a dick.
Yeah, I think so. I think he kind of is. Yeah.
Did you see who was rumored as Kraven?
Oh, I heard people really want Carl Urban.
The rumor is Keanu Reeves.
All right.
Oh, he hasn't been in here yet, has he?
No.
He'd make a good Kraven. I'd be okay with that.
Bale was cast for Love and Thunder.
Yeah, and they said who he. I forget who he is. They said who he was finally.
Is he? Oh, they didn't. Is it Adam Warlock?
Yes. There you go. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, do we know where the bee guy went?
She reused her as matter to make the two kids. I don't know. No, they didn't say. I don't think.
We saw him come up out. We saw him how he went in. It was the sword guy, right?
Yeah.
And then he came out of the sewer as the bee guy. But that's it. That's all we saw.
Yeah, we never saw.
Yep.
And the bee guy too.
Said no. And I think it started as well.
I think it started as a joke, but I think Colton genuinely believes that he turned into the kids.
Split them in two.
Well,
and just
I'm saying I think she might have taken natural matter and
turned
them into children. Maybe not all of those children, but at least hers. Half of them.
And she could have been pregnant.
So how did she split him? Was it top half, bottom half, left side, strong side into kids?
I'm gonna say it's left side, right side because they definitely seem to have different personalities. So they only got half. Like one got the creative brain, one got the other brain. Like I'm gonna say that's how it worked. It was right down the middle.
They took the cool half of the bee guy and the dorky half of the bee guy.
Yep, 100%.
The bee guy was pretty cool though. He's a rad dude.
That's why he's slightly taller.
That's why he's got the better hair too. You know, he's just a little bit cooler.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with my bad therapist theory. She doesn't bad counseling, man. Right. It's just bad advice.
She went to one session. She went to half of one session.
Yeah.
All right, shall we wrap it up?
I'll say, anybody have predictions for next week?
I don't like
just chaos.
Just chaos.
I imagine we're gonna see next week Darcy inside the bubble and how that's gonna go, which she knows information from the outside, so if she gets divisioned or zapped, that might be able to inform him. Other than that, I really want to know what's going on. Pietro and the Mind Stone has my attention mostly because I really want to know how that Mind Stone exists.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just an emulation.
Yeah, I don't know. Colton seems very convinced that the Mind Stone exists as the Mind Stone.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Is what's weird.
He's flying and doing all of his powers.
He does have his powers. That's true.
He does, but
can't he just create him?
Right, Scarlet Witch could manifest anything.
Yeah, and if she manifested children who manifested powers,
he also seems to have some amount of free will at this point.
I agree. Yeah, no. So, yeah, he's an oddball. So there's got to be they're introducing characters in these upcoming movies that have really active roles with Infinity Stones, and I'm wondering if we're just done with them, which I'm cool with, or if they're going to slowly just leak back somehow.
I'm sure we're not done with all Infinity Stones forever.
No, that's if we're gonna part of the universe.
And if we're going to keep expanding to this crazy level, I mean, the Council of Reeds have 3 Infinity Gauntlets. Like it gets really weird with Infinity Stones. We'll see. And we'll also, I wonder if we'll ever do the Illuminati, where specific important people, it's just like, hey, you watch this stone. You know, if someone dangerous gets close, swallow it. Yeah.
I don't know anything about the Council of Reeds. That's what I call my clarinet quintet.
Council of Reeds is just what Council of Ricks is based on in Rick and Morty.
Wait.
I think Wanda's going to lose control. I mean, she barely had control before, and now her world is like 3 times bigger.
Yep.
2 times bigger.
No, clearly everything's
building. That band humor.
Some sort of breakdown or something.
I feel like they will slowly have more free will.
There are going to be more glitches and more free will. People are going to start eating drywall. People are going to start freaking out. Maybe they'll turn on her. Maybe they'll have enough control to be like, yo, get that pitchfork, because she is a witch.
I don't like that it's all clowns now. It's the Dark Carnival. They're all juggalos.
Oh no!
What is the show where they slowly start to realize
Darcy turned into a Violent J?
Oh, gosh.
It's not pleasant.
Yeah, I'm with you, Erica. They might slowly get wise and a little bit more loosen up, and then all of a sudden they grab the pitchforks and
maybe Agnes is the leader of that.
That's true. Because in Agatha's backstory, she is a Salem like old school witch.
Yeah.
I only want to be the only witch around here. Can only be one. Highlander of witches.
And then they'll finally call her the Scarlet Witch, so they can differentiate between the two.
I think we might be honest.
That's how.
I think we're tasting something. So once the show ends, we're gonna clip all the parts where we were right?
Yeah, and then get rid of all the parts where we were wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and just say we spoil everything.
I'll do it.
Yeah, we spoil everything.
Yeah, this episode will go from about an hour to about 15 minutes. It'll be great.
It would get short quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just going to be me saying it was bad counseling.
Yeah, it's just that. It's just that part.
That describes, I think, actually.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
Something relatively recent, though.
Don't know. All right. Well, the show's interesting. Anytime something can do something unexpected, like and I'm not one for this, but when it was the other Quicksilver, I had a physical, like literally the hair stood up on my arms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, something that I really just never saw coming happened. And that was awesome. So hopefully that wasn't the only thing. We'll see.
Yeah, that was a real fun moment for me of like watching at 6 a.m. and having no one to talk to about it and waiting for Colton to like, I was like, have you watched
you shouldn't text anybody at that time of day.
Yeah, just being like, I just need someone to know so I can talk to them about it, because I even went to work and I was like, hey, can I just tell you guys something that you have no idea about, but I just need to say it? And they were like, no. I was like, all right, cool. Thanks, guys.
No, text me because chances are I might be up.
All right, cool. All right. Well, careful what you wish for.
It is a guarantee that I will be up, actually.
All right, sweet. I'll see you Friday at 6:45.
All right. Cool. Well, I'll smell you guys Friday at 6:45.
Yep.
Smell it good.
Bye.
All right, y'all. We did it.
Yes.
Sorry for watching. Please like and subscribe to watch it some more.
Get Wanda at the end of this.
We're gonna get her.
Let's get
Get Wanda.
Get her.